as we'll see P.J. Walker and the Cleveland Browns taking on Zach Wilson and the New York Jets.
A December chill is in the air coming off of Lake Erie, but folks here bundled up, ready for football at Cleveland Browns Stadium in downtown Cleveland. Tonight, hard to believe, our final Thursday night game of the year, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And we will not have a return here to start. Thanks to the new rule, the fair catch will bring this out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by Zach Wilson, former second overall pick, now in his 3rd season out of BYU.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
To start the drive, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The numbers for Hall in last week's ball game: 16 carries, 72 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. And there on your screen, Charles, the key inactives guys out this week.
And there's never anything good about any injury, but there's a silver lining to them, is that it creates opportunity for someone else on the depth chart. Will they take advantage of it with good play, or have they not prepared well, thinking they'll never get on the field, and they'll go out there and hurt their team?
There's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Hall up the middle. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. This defense for the Browns, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 20-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
Hall ought to give up the middle. And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run with Hall. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Jets put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. And leading them out in his 4th NFL season, former Temple Owl P.J. Walker.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. When you talk about this Jets defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happened. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
That's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Walker. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. Well, what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6 now. Hunt will try going up the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here's Walker. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. P.J. Walker, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Browns respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are tied at 7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 74 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Here's Hall again. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Jets at 9-6 now. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Now Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. Throwing is Wilson. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Straight ahead is Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Hall again on 2nd down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Here's a give to Hall. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Allen Lazard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Zuerlein now for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run again with Hunt. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. To throw is Walker. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first down throw for Walker. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now left side on the swing pass. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. How about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they caught the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignment. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll start on the ground. Hall. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
106 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing again here, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They red zone coverage there and thought there was some space to send their guy right into the middle on a slant, hoping he would get lost. Instead, they read it quite well and closed quickly.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. They'll set up the screen to Abanikanda. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And quickly, they get to the line. 3rd down, here's Abanikanda. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Abanikanda will score. Touchdown, New York. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Working out of the gun here, Walker. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Walker. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Walker. And he's got the hook up to Moore. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now 2nd and 3. Now Walker. This is the tight end, Njoku. He's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were treated to a solid first half out of the running back, Breece Hall. He's already over 100 yards rushing for the game and has a touchdown run as well. In the late afternoon games, it'll be loud in Kansas City, that's for sure,
3.
as it'll be the Chiefs taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Walker now. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. To throw is Walker. Swings this out for Hunt. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is How's he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their fourth possession. Touchdowns on their first three possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Abanikanda once again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. On second down, it's Abanikanda. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. That's caught. This is Abanikanda. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. In motion right is Wilson. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Maurice Hurst able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Zerline's kick is up and through, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Second down, here's Walker. Over the middle, complete. That's Hunt. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Walker. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple, and that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Abanikanda on 1st and 10. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. And they'll go again with Abanikanda. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it. The give now to Abanikanda. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss. They'll go for it. It's Abanikanda. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. On on the handoff. Abanikanda. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
54 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll run it with Abanikanda.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Here's Abanikanda.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
On the ground, it's Abanikanda.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
Israel Abanikanda with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
Now a 2nd down throw for Walker. To the sideline and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And he is going to have a Browns first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He'll buy some time right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Walker now on 2nd down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
56, Mike.
Walker from the gun on third down. He's going to look deep for more. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for Cleveland. 43 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the shotgun, it's Walker. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And it's caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
I don't want to go over the top here, but that's still a nice touchdown. I know they're being blown out of the stadium, but for this team to go downfield and score when this game is essentially over, that shows me a lot.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jets have got it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
That's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hit 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. Good gain there on first down and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down. They'll go again with Hall. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a fourth down now.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'll be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for the Giants,
they get an all-important 10th win to move them to 10-6 with 1 week to go.
and they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland,
their struggles continue. It's an 11th loss to go with just 5 wins.
and they will look to turn it around next time out. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Cleveland.